From spending nearly a decade in the financial sector, I've seen what often holds people back from improving their finances and breaking through to the next level is their inability to identify and remove their toxic money beliefs. So today I wanted to walk you through 5 common beliefs that could be holding you back and, more importantly, how to break out of them. Underpinning success to an abstract reason. This one holds so many of us back. We do it thinking that's helping us, but it's in fact doing the complete opposite. The traditional route and the most common route people take to make money is through a 9-to-5 job. This is one that we're most familiar with. It's what we were taught to know through the educational system. And so we tend to think that anyone who has had a reasonable amount of success or amount of money outside of the system has done so because of an abstract reason that's out of reach for, quote, the normal person. What I mean by that is, and what I've done myself is I've seen someone reach a level of success that I could only imagine. And then I've just pinned that success to just one thing that I don't have. Maybe it's, they had the connections. They knew the right people to be able to do that. Or maybe it's, he's a guy in the industry, so obviously he's going to be able to do that. Or we tend to subconsciously think in this way because it makes their success a lot easier to digest. But by doing this, I realized that I'm just removing myself from potentially getting any of the same. I'm just justifying my complacency. And whilst that's the easy route to take and it may make me feel better for all of 5 minutes, in the long run, that thinking is just going to hold me back. And I realized that if you could see someone else's success with an open-minded view, understand how they've got there, why they've got there, what things that they've done outside of what might just be easy to assume, you can start learning and taking bits away as inspiration and applying it to your own journey as well. Number 2, assuming negative intent. We often carry this notion that we should avoid being a burden. We don't really like asking for help or for a favor. And there's this unwritten rule that if you're asking or bending the rules, you're being an inconvenience. And this is specifically more common for women. Sheryl Sandberg mentions in an interview that she was giving a talk to Facebook to about 100 employees. And at the end of the talk, she had a Q&A section. And as she was answering the questions, she said she'll take 2 more. After the second question, all the women in the room put their hands down, but she continued taking questions. And this time it was only from the men in the room because everyone who had kept their hands up were the men. And I know I'm guilty for doing the same, but I realized that by not reaching out for opportunities or wanting to put my neck on the line even the slightest bit, I'm standing in my own way. We want to drop the assumption that asking is annoying and that bending the rules or not doing what someone said is wrong. Instead, we want to believe that people genuinely do want to help within their means, and sometimes it just takes us to go that extra mile. If we ask for something and we get it, great, we're better off. And if not, we're no worse off than we were before. Either way, we move forward, no hard feelings. Before I get into the next point, you may have noticed I'm bringing back some of my handwritten style editing, and that's because I got this screen protector from Paperlike that's completely changed the game when it comes to my iPad. It makes the glass feel less like glass and much more like actual paper. This version is the Paperlike 2.1, and it has special coding of dots across the sheet, which improves the visual clarity, and that's what gives it this real paper-like finish. Paperlike sent me their Pro Bundle, which includes 2 grips for your Apple Pencil, this all-in-one cleaning kit that removes any dirt that has accumulated from using your iPad screen all day. I also use it for my laptop screen as well. This whole package has made me start using my iPad again, and I forgot how much I like having all my notes and everything saved digitally so I can connect it across all my devices. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. Thank you so much to Paperlike for sponsoring this video. Number 3, having an entrepreneurial mindset. From my experience, when you work in a company for a very long time, you tend to have this boxed way of thinking. It's easy to follow instructions and you become comfortable with what you're doing, that you don't want to take on any risks or any new opportunities outside of that path because you know that path, you know it's the easy path, so you're going to stick to it. But the issue is that when you start living and breathing through this fixed mindset, you hold yourself back from getting to the next stage. Maybe you think you want to do something new, write a book, start a podcast, start a channel or a website. And the next thing you say is, actually, I don't know how to go about it. And then that's where it stops. You don't move forward from there. The thought process is very 2-dimensional and you end up stopping before you even get to the next stage. Whereas those who tend to be a bit more entrepreneurial, it doesn't mean that they're entrepreneurs. It just means that they have a more business-focused mindset. They realize that there is a way to get everything done. Their thought process is, okay, I want to do this. What's the first thing I need to do to learn to get started? And then what do I do from there? It doesn't matter if they don't know how to do something. They understand that everything can be learned and there's an answer for every problem. If you feel like you've been at the same level for a long time and want to break through to the next, the very first starting point is having a growth mindset. This will be the thing that leads you to try and take up new opportunities. Number 4, not having your values in check. I've never met anyone who has become wealthy or broken free from a repeating cycle or broken out of a paycheck to paycheck cycle without setting a clear goal or without placing a very high value on money. I honestly believe that money tends to come to those who make it a priority. It's not a matter of chance. You can't accidentally become successful or wealthy. It does require focused effort. When I made the decision to take my life under control and start getting my side hustles to a pace where it matches my fixed costs, I knew that it would require a lot of sacrifices. Even though I didn't know anyone who had done what I wanted to do and the path that I wanted to take, so I wasn't really able to absorb or constantly be around the information to get there, everything that I did consume put me onto the right level of frequency. So I surrounded myself with YouTube channels, books, podcasts, Instagram pages that aligned with my goal, and then made sure that my value of being financially independent stayed at the top. Sometimes what people say their values are don't align with their actions. You might think, oh, I want to level up financially, but nothing you're consuming or doing is matching what you say. And I recently came across a value quiz by Dr. Martini that asks you deep questions about your priorities, your thoughts, your actions, and then lets you know based on how you've answered them where money falls into that value. I'll link it below. And if you believe something is important to you, but your surroundings and the things you're consuming don't align with it, then it might be time some things change around. Number 5, not needing to acquire financial literacy. I know so many people who have let someone else take control over all aspects of their financial life. They don't know how much tax they're paying. They don't know what's coming in and out of their account. They don't know if they're spending more or less than they earn because they've never tracked it. Money is a huge part of our lives, whether we like to admit it or not. Much of our lives is dictated around money. The reason why we work so hard is to pursue a life of financial independence that comes through learning about money. So not spending time to reach a certain level of understanding of such an important life skill, you're essentially just holding yourself back. You have to have a level of financial literacy to level up and actually build wealth and break out of a cycle. There are so many books, YouTube channels, podcasts. If you don't know where to start, I'll leave a video right here by yours truly, where I talk about how to manage your money on payday, how much of your income you should be allocating to what category, how much you should be saving and investing. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you there.